Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. I am so excited to speak to you about what to expect while volunteering with us at Blooming Babes. And I want to give you the objective of today, which is that you will have a clear understanding as to what your roles and responsibilities will be, the importance of safety in all of our activities, and how to continue to contribute to Blooming Babes' mission of supporting local floral design teachers. You will also participate in an activity to reinforce any safety rules that we go over. So here is a summary of what we are going to do during this lesson. We will start with an introduction and move on to some safety rules. After that, I will explain your role in the workshops as well as doing a little bit of an activity. And then at the end, we will have time for questions, comments, and concerns. You will also sign a waiver stating that you understand that your safety is your own responsibility and things like that. So, introduction to me. I want to tell you that my name is Madeline Woodall, and I am an agricultural science teacher at Alvin High School. I teach freshmen principles of agriculture and floral design, and I am now the founder of Blooming Babes. Um, I have always had a passion for floral design because of my mom. My mom would bring flowers in almost weekly and do different arrangements and designs and things like that. Um, and it made everything seem more comfortable and homey, and I loved watching her put everything together. So whenever I was able to in high school, I went ahead and took all of the floral design classes I could, and now I just feel so blessed to be able to teach it. Now about our nonprofit. So we give support to new agricultural science teachers that specifically teach floral design. The opportunities that we'll offer are workshops and events for teachers to gain more experience and knowledge in floral design, but we will also focus on gaining relationships with each other. In this profession, I've learned in my year that it's important to have connections with people that understand the crazy life that we live and are willing to help us at any time. So, building those relationships is extremely important to me, and I've made it part of Blooming Babes as well. So, safety. Safety is always our number one priority. Whether we are in the classroom with our students, preparing for a workshop with you guys, and hosting a workshop for our clients with y'all, it is important that we all stay safe. And I want everyone to know that safety is everyone's responsibility. So if you are following safety rules and things like that, most people are going to follow after you. And I find that to be extremely important and valuable. Um, Now we're going to talk about some tool safety. I've listed some of the tools that we will be using in our workshops and events. They include floral knives, floral shears, and floral scissors. They also include wire cutters, stem strippers, and hot glue guns. Below that little list, I have included that we need to use them properly and keep them clean, but we also need to make sure that we are storing them properly. We want all of our tools and materials and everything to be extremely well kept and well organized, and so we can use them for a long period of time. So now I'm going to go over some of the big safety rules that I have and give you some explanations as to why they are important. If I need to slow down, please let me know. I know that I talk quite a bit and talk really fast, so please just let me know. Number one is keep all floors and walkways clear of obstructions. Now, I know that this sounds self-explanatory, but we want to ensure that our workspace and areas are clean in case that someone has an emergency or an accident or is just walking to the bathroom or anything like that. We want to make sure that they can get there quickly without another accident. If something is in the walkway, someone can easily fall and trip and slip and things like that, and that could cause injury. Number two is always use a broom and a dustpan when cleaning plant materials. Sometimes we set things down and we don't realize where they are, right? So making sure that we are using a dustpan and stuff like that to clean any plant materials is important because if there's something that has been set down that is sharp and you're cleaning it with your hands, you are obviously going to hurt yourself if you touch it. And we don't want anyone to get hurt. Number three is always cut away from you. Now, this is something that I learned at a very young age in the kitchen with my grandmother and my mom. Um, so if you're cutting away from you, it is less likely that something is going to slip and cut you. And if you're cutting towards you, um, it is likely that that blade is getting a little bit too close to you and it could slip and hurt you. Number four is never saw your flower stems. So if you saw them, the flower material will get ruined. The table under the flower material could get ruined. The tools will probably be dull and will get messed up. And all of those things could lead to you getting hurt. Number five is more based on hot glue. Now, if melted glue gets on your skin, don't pull it off immediately. Go ahead and rinse with cold water. So if you pull off the hot glue immediately, you're not only going to rip your skin off with it, you're adding more contact with that hot glue and you could get up to third-degree burns because it does get so hot. Now, whenever you put cold water on it, it will allow the hot glue to dry and harden so that you are not touching any more hot glue. Number six is never mix chemicals. This could cause a reaction. I know that we probably learned this in science class, but it is very important no matter what kind of lab you are in. We do not use a lot of chemicals in the floral lab, but we will use preservatives and um, adhesives and cleaners and things like that. And it's just very important that we don't mix them just in case a reaction or an explosion could happen. Now, number seven is report any broken tools. So if tools are broken, they're most likely not working properly, so they're not being used properly. This could cause injury, and we do not want that. Number eight is wearing proper PPE. Most of you know that PPE stands for personal protective equipment. These things are essential in keeping you safe. We want you to wear proper clothing, tie your hair back, and have on closed-toed shoes for every workshop, just in case something gets caught in your clothes or your hair or falls on your foot or anything like that. It would just be super beneficial for all of you to wear proper clothing. Now for what you're going to be responsible for and what we expect of you. So, first, you will assist us in the planning process. As a volunteer for us, we want you to enjoy the time that you spend with us, and we want you to continue to come back. So, we want you to give us input as to what designs we do, what lessons we give out, and what supplies and things we will need for each of those lessons. Then you will also help us execute those workshops and events. You will make sure that all of our participants have supplies. They understand what is going on and they're following safety rules. You will also bond with our participants and clients. I mentioned that building relationships was very important, and we want you guys to have fun too, and we want you to build relationships. So it's important that you are able to speak with them and talk with them and build relationships with them as well. The next two kind of flow together, evaluate and improve. We want your feedback. You will be the hands and feet of our nonprofit organization, and we can't do it without you. So we want to hear what you heard and what you saw during our workshops and events. And we also want to know how we can help you. So knowing all of these things, it will help us to improve our organization and hopefully improve your time with us. Next is roles and responsibilities again, but these are more specific roles that you could have within our organization as a volunteer. You could be a classroom assistant, and with this, you will be supporting us in leading the workshop. So you could be doing another demonstration, making sure that we have all of our tools and things like that, or you could simply just be walking around. Um, you could also be a safety monitor. This would be ensuring that everybody is following the rules and using tools properly and doesn't need any help with what they're supposed to be doing. Now, the next one is materials manager. This would help you organize and distribute materials and tools to our participants and us. So each of our events is going to have certain things that everybody will need. And it would be your job to make sure that we have all of those. And if we need more, or if things are not going exactly as we need them to, materials wise, you can help us out with that. Last but not least is our emergency manager. So it would be making sure you know where the first aid kit is, the emergency exits, the fire extinguishers, bathrooms, things like that, in case something were to happen that we need one of those. So now I want to get you up and moving instead of sitting here and listening to me talk. I have an activity for you. It is called Safety Stations. And there will be 8 scenarios that you will discuss amongst yourself on how to solve them. I will put you in groups by numbering you off, and you will go to a station with your group and move along all of them. I have posted the stations around the room so you can walk around, stretch your legs while discussing. I want you to talk about the different safety rules that you'll need to follow and what you would do if these situations occur. I have made these situations somewhat geared to the classroom and those classroom scenarios. Because in our first workshop, the teachers will get these lesson plans, and if you yourself are a teacher, that would be perfect, for you as well. So once you get your number, go ahead and head over to the corresponding station, with your group, and we can get started. So I chose to do this activity with you guys because I told you that safety is our number one priority in all that we do. Allowing you to discuss with others on what each of you would do in a specific scenario gives you the opportunity to think aloud and reinforce any safety rules you may be unfamiliar with. It also allows you to bounce ideas off of each other, okay? So some people's brains work differently than others, and hearing it from another person could really help you understand what you need to do if you are put in these situations. Um, those that we are serving are also going to need these rules. And so, in order to give them to our participants, we need to make sure that our volunteers or you know them as well because you will be in charge of making sure that they are following them. So, I hope that you enjoyed today and got a little bit of understanding about what Blooming Babes is about and how we are going to work together. Our key points today were safety and your role in our organization. I am so looking forward to working with you. At the front, I have a waiver to ensure our safety and yours for you to sign. And I will be up at the front for the next 20 to 30 minutes to chat with you and get all of your waivers signed. I am so excited that you guys were here, and I can't wait for the next one. Um, our next lesson will dive more into content about the arrangements and things we will do in our first workshop. So I am looking forward to it a lot. Thank you so much for everything, and I will be up here to chat.